Good afternoon, everybody. It's your friend Sheep Ludes. Yes, reporting live from the news desk. I wish I had like an official news desk. I feel like it's not that hard to build one. I just feel like it's a lack of effort for me. Building a news desk sounds like a lot. Also, sounds like something I'm not able to do in my attic setup right now. Anyways, we got our first look at the heroic set that we're getting tomorrow. And gotta say, not quite as underwhelming as last week, but still pretty underwhelming. So, we got Chuck Nevitt, who most people probably don't know who that is, but he was, I wouldn't say a big card last year, but he was a card last year. Keldon Johnson, who somebody at 2K has some sort of love affair with Keldon Johnson, because I swear to God, we get him and like Devin Vassell like way more than we need to in 2K. Lonnie Walker, too, for a little bit. Somebody likes the Spurs there, for sure. Thurl Bailey and Manu Ginobili. Not going to lie, the Manu card art, it's kind of tight. He's, like, exploding. Like, there's, like, magma and stuff. It's kind of cool. Thurl Bailey, it's just, like, a bunch of cyclones, a bunch of twisters. If you're a fan of the film Twister, which, honestly, I feel like most people are. I feel like that movie was big. Like, that movie was huge. That was like, I don't want to say it was like Titanic big, but the movie Twister was a massive success, I have to. It's a straight up terrible film, not going to lie. But let's go look at each of these cards individually. So we'll start with Chuck Nevitt. 7'5" with a 7'5" wingspan. He is a big boy. Now, I've seen people talk about how he could potentially be like a budget Yao stopper or just things of that nature. And I would say if he had a hero version, I would say it's honestly maybe not likely, but it's possible. But I would say he's just going to be next up in a long line of like potential Yao stoppers that they end up just hoeing massively. Like, I'm not going to say they hoe these cards, because like the stats that they give them I think are very true to life and very realistic. It's just like when you have a power forward Taco that's fast and can shoot, and then you have, a Yao Ming that's fast and can shoot, having a realistic Chuck Nevitt isn't exactly going to benefit you. You know what I mean? Realistic George Mirasan's not helping you. Simbular's not helping you, So last year, he had 40 speed, 40 acceleration. 37 speed with ball. Nice 25 three-pointer, 62 mid. I would say that very possible that we're going to be looking at like the same thing. I think maximum is going to have like 50 speed. If he was just like Mark Eaton, honestly, if he was just like Mark Eaton, he would be fine. If he was just like Mark Eaton, like 79 speed, couldn't really handle the rock, but it didn't matter. Like, Chuck Nevitt would be the budget big man of choice for a majority of people, but unfortunately, he's not. He's going to be terrible. Now, if, for whatever reason, by some miracle, he is able to shoot, what release are they going to give him? I don't know. So he had the same release last year as like Rick Barry, Tyson Chandler, Gary Trent Jr., Manu, which is interesting. He's in the same set. So I wonder if they're going to give him the Marcus Morris release. Just because PJ Brown was another guy who had the same release as him last year. So I wonder if they give him the Marcus Morris Sr. release, which actually isn't half bad. I mean, I used Tyson Chandler forever, Forever's relative, but at least for like a couple weeks. So this release wouldn't be half bad on like Quick or Very Quick. If he's able to shoot, I think Chuck Nevitt could be legitimately like the budget big man of choice. They made Peter Goodmanson be able to shoot, so anything is possible, I suppose. But regardless, I think he's just going to be kind of like a slow, lumbering mess, which sucks because we need a Yao counter, like ASAP. We really do. The other unfortunate thing is, even if he is good enough to be a Yao counter, he's going to be price fixed so aggressively that majority of us aren't even going to get the card anyway, kind of like Goodmanson. Like, he's only about 40-50K now, but like on release day, he was so expensive. Then we got Keldon Johnson, 6'6", 6'9" wingspan. He can play the shooting guard, which is cool. Got his own release, which, I mean, a hit or miss. I didn't really love it on Jermaine O'Neal, but could be better on like Quick or Very Quick. He'll be able to move. His defensive tendencies are horrendous, and it's unlikely that they're going to change them. So Yeah, the unfortunate reality of Keldon Johnson is he's going to be super mid, kind of like every pink diamond that we've gotten from the heroic set. I feel like none of the heroic pink diamonds have been very good, so that's a bummer, but whatever. I mean, what do you expect? Now, Thurl Bailey, 6'11", 7-foot wingspan. I think regardless, I'm going to pick up Thurl Bailey. Like, I'm probably just going to pick up the heroic version. That's what I'm probably going to do. But I feel like, obviously, the hero version is going to be significantly better. So, damn, I didn't realize that Thurl was this cracked when he came out. Like, literally, he was 80, basically 85 plus in every single attribute except for like shot IQ and passing vision. So, I expect him to be very, very good. His defensive tendencies aren't great, but whatever. It doesn't really matter when he's this big, you know? I think they keep the release. I think. What did they do with Mike Miller's release? Because Mike Miller got a new release. So, what release did they give Mike Miller for the interdimensional? Kyle Lowry. I don't know if they're going to change Thurl's release or just give him like Romeo Langford on like quick or very quick. Honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if they kept it because it's a release I'm super used to. And I think it's a good like catch and shoot big man release. So I think it wouldn't be that big of a deal anyway. He'll be able to move. The difference between the hero and the non-hero are going to be shooting badges, for sure. He'll probably have like a 85 three-pointer on the heroic and then like a 94 on the hero version. So I would assume it's going to be shooting badges, right? So the heroic version probably has a badge count very similar to this. Maybe they give him like Claymore and maybe they give him like guard up and like something like that. But I think like range will be something he doesn't have, which I don't think Thurl necessarily needs that. But I personally am looking forward to Thurl Bailey because I used this card forever. He was one of my favorite cards in the game, so I'm excited to see him come back. I won't pack him, so I'll have to buy him straight up. But regardless, I think Thurl Bailey will be super good, so I'm very excited to see him come back. We need like a Thurl Bailey type. He's not really going to have the advantage he had before, though. Just because on the budget end, guys like Poku exist, you know, semi-budget end would be like Bender, and then obviously like Bol and Ilgauskas exist, so it's like, you know, whatever. But we do have a distinct lack of goggles in the game, so I appreciate that. Then we got Manu, 6'6", 6'9", wingspan. He can play the point guard, yes. I would assume the difference between the heroic and hero version, which is super confusing when you say it like that. Defensive badges, for sure. It's going to be defense, 100%. He's got good defensive tendencies, though. I don't know what they do with his release. If they keep it, that's going to suck so bad. I could see them doing it, though. I could see them just, like, not changing it. If they do change it, it would make sense if it was, like, KPJ, but I honestly don't know what they're going to do. So, I am going to say I hope they change this release, but at the end of the day, I really don't care because I'm not going to pack this card. But now that I'm saying this and the fact that they're not going to change this release, this is the dude I'll pack. I'll pack him because he's going to be going for like 125k. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is who I pack. I just know it. They'll change his dribble style and stuff. I just don't know what they're going to do with the release. This release sucks. Like, the Gary Trent Jr. release is heinous. Like, try using it on Robert Pack. It's awful. They might juice his jump shot, but I honestly don't really know. If they do juice his jumper, he'll be a fun enough point guard to use, but realistically, you know, with guys like Luka, MJ, and then even at like, you know, budget levels, like KPJ himself literally exists with his own jump shot. I can't imagine Manu will they really be that much better than Kevin Porter Jr. himself, like the interdimensional one that just came out. 6'6", 6'9" wingspan, he'll basically be this. This is exactly what he'll be, with possibly better defensive badges and better tendencies. Like, other than that, this. So if you want Manu, just get Kevin Porter Jr. Because I guarantee what they're going to do with Manu is they're just going to turn him into Kevin Porter Jr., right? If they change him at all. So, yeah, not really that fun. Let's go take a look at the market. I doubt anything changes, but we'll see. Now, if I had to guess, I would say Manu's probably, I think even if they change his jump shot, it doesn't really matter. I think he'll probably be the cheapest out of all of the heroes for Tuesday. like, because there's still some value behind like Penny as like a player himself. There's value behind Paul George. Like, I would say there's even value behind Embiid. He's still going to be probably like 300K, but I think he'll be the cheapest just due to rarity out of these guys for sure. Because even, like I said, even if they give him Kevin Porter Jr. release, like, we just got a KPJ, so it doesn't really matter. You know, you can just go get that card. It's like the same dude anyway. Thurl Bailey is going to be tough. He's going to be tough to predict because I could see him being really, really good and him being obnoxiously expensive, like on a Sabonis level, but I'm not really sure because, I mean, Sabonis is still 130K, which is ridiculous, man. That's insanity. Sabonis is good, don't get me wrong, but like 130K for an Opal is nuts at this stage, you know? But then again, you know, this dude exists who's a pink diamond and is going for like 400 or 500K, so I guess like, I don't know, man. I think Thurl is likely somewhere in the middle of Tony Kukoc and Sabonis. I think he's probably going to be like Jonathan Bender price. Like what Jonathan Bender's going for is likely to be what. Yeah, he could be over 100K, by the way. Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be this price, but I would say this is my guess for where he's going to end up is like Jonathan Bender's price point. You know, like between 45, 55, 60K or somewhere around there. Initially, he's going to be expensive, closer to 100. Like, I think initially he's going to be somewhere around like AK's price point of like 80K, right? But I think he kind of falls after that. The reason he falls is because you could just get AK for significantly less than that. So it's like, I don't know, man. I know this is going to be a shocker, but I don't think Keldon Johnson is affecting anyone's prices. I mean, maybe there's a Keldon Johnson stand out there that would beg to differ, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. Chuck Nevitt is the interesting one. I really don't think anything happens with his price, but it's possible that maybe we see him drop somebody like Mark Eaton a little bit, but then again, he's probably going to have 30-40 speed. Like, he's going to end up basically just like this George Mirasan. Like, I don't think there's really going to be any difference between this George Mirasan and Chuck Nevitt, unfortunately. Now, I wish that wasn't the case, but living in a realistic world, it's probably going to end up just as cheap as Mirasan because they're basically going to be the same style of player. Like, they would be hugely effective if, guys like Yao Ming and Taco didn't exist, you know? So it's unfortunate. I don't know. Let me know what you think of this drop down in the comments below. I've seen mostly negative reaction to it. So, whatever. I honestly don't care about drops anymore. Like, when I see these things, like, I don't think I ever necessarily got excited, but I used to be like, yeah, dude, that's awesome. Like, I want that card. But now it's at the point where I know my limitations as somebody who works within the 2K pack odds, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, I'm not pulling these cards. Like, and honestly, even if I did, I don't want Manu because I'm gonna get regular heroic Manu, and he's like legitimately gonna be 130K, and I'm gonna be upset. He might even be the first buyout Dark Matter. I don't know. You know what I mean? I could see this being the one with odds, dude. This is the one where they're like, yeah, 4% odds. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I was gonna play Redfall today, but Bethesda decided to shut down the New Zealand server, so I don't get to play it now, and I'm like pretty upset about it. So yeah, I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna be playing Redfall. I'll probably play Redfall on stream, so if anybody has an Xbox and wants to play Redfall while I'm streaming tomorrow, holler at me, dude, for sure.